Hello everyone, this is Liz. I'm a cottagecore nomad with a passion for countryside life and the great outdoors. Today, we'll be exploring how to find and use edible plants in the forest or even your own backyard. Are you ready? Foraging for food in the wild has many benefits. Not only is it entirely for free, but we can find many plants that are extremely healthy and rich in nutrients that we might have forgotten about throughout the past decades. With spring in full bloom, it's the perfect time to start harvesting fresh herbs and plants. Young sprouts contain the most nutrients, so it's worthwhile to harvest them early. Now let's look at some basics to keep in mind when foraging for food in the wild. First and foremost, it's important to always be sure of what you're picking. Make sure to properly identify any plants before consuming them. Luckily, nowadays we have our phones with us to help with identifying plants, but if you are unsure, I recommend not to consume the plant. In some cases, confusing two plants won't have any dire consequences, but in others it will. An example would be wild garlic, which can easily be confused with the poisonous lily of the valley. Additionally, be aware of any potential environmental factors such as pollution or pesticide use that may affect the safety of the plants. I recommend not to harvest directly near a road or in places where people walk their dogs. If necessary, it's a good idea to crawl into the bushes a bit where the plants are a bit further away from streets and footpaths. Now let's dive into some of the delicious ingredients we can find in the great outdoors. I already mentioned wild garlic and it's an absolute favorite of mine. You can plant it in your own garden or you can find it in the wild, primarily in shady forests near streams and rivers. I'll often have it with pasta and tomato sauce or as a delicious garlic butter. Simply chop up a handful of wild garlic leaves, mix it with some butter and add some salt. It tastes fantastic with some freshly baked bread. If you like, you can add some daisies. You can find those everywhere. Not only do they make for super cute cottagecore decoration for all kinds of dishes, they also contain a lot of vitamins and minerals themselves. You can also use daisies to make tea. Simply pick a handful of daisies and put the flower heads in a tea strainer. Add hot water and infuse for 10 minutes. If you like, you can add a little lemon juice as well. Bonus tip: put some daisy flower heads into ice cubes for next level cottagecore vibes when making drinks. foraging for edible plants helps us cultivate a deeper appreciation for nature. Sometimes it is important to remember how much nature gives us for free if we take the time to notice it. Something to also keep in mind when foraging for edible plants is to only take what we need. If there are only very few plants in one place, make sure to leave them alone. Only harvest where the plants can easily recover. So here's another great tea recipe to try that I discovered recently. For that, we need 2 small young spruce twigs. Spruce and fir look very similar. If you would like to identify them, look at their needles and touch them. Spruce needles will prick your skin lightly, while fir needles are much more roundish and soft. Also, spruce needles are distributed all around the twig, while fir needles mostly run in a clear straight line only to the left and right of the branch. The bark on spruce trees is usually rough and scaly, while fir bark is smoother and has a more uniform appearance. Wash the spruce twigs and dry them well. Cut them finely and put them in a pot with 1 liter of cold water. Put the lid on, boil the twigs for a minute and leave them to infuse for another 15 minutes at a low temperature. This tea tastes unlike anything you can buy at a supermarket, and I assure you the color will surprise you. Let's not forget about nettles, a versatile plant that can be used in a wide range of dishes. First things first, let's look at how to properly harvest them. If you have no experience in harvesting nettles, I recommend wearing gloves. But there are some people, such as my mom, who will just harvest them without gloves. Over time, you will get used to it, and touching the nettles will not irritate your skin as much anymore. It's important to grab the leaves from below, not from above. This will help keep the release of the fluid that irritates our skin to a minimum. Nettles can be used in a variety of dishes. One of my mom's signature recipes are nettle dumplings with tomato sauce or gorgonzola cheese sauce. Whenever I'm in the area, I will make sure to stop by and have some nettle dumplings with my parents. Nettles will stop stinging when cooked, dried, or put in a blender, so you don't have to worry about using them in your dishes. You can use them fresh or dried to make some tea, or you can put together a fresh and colorful salad using lettuce, nettles, dandelion, goutweed, daisies, and whatever else you feel like, really. It's a perfect way to showcase and enjoy the beauty and flavor of wild plants. Wild plants also make for perfect ingredients for smoothies. Just add a handful of nettles or goutweed and a leaf or two of dandelion to a blender. Add some fruit of your choice, such as apples, pears, or bananas, as well as about 200 to 400 milliliters of water. That's about 1 to 1.5 cups. Blend all the ingredients and you'll end up with a delicious and highly nutritious smoothie. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the world of natural ingredients. Which of these delicious plants are you going to try? Let us know in the comments.